Okay, while I was rubbing the tank down, I discovered that I thought there might be some leaks in this tank, so we're just going to check it. I've got the glamorous assistant out of shot here, but what I'm going to do is block up the top, because there's a breather in the top. Obviously I'm going to block it up with a piece of plastic, and hopefully that will stop most of the air. That's assuming I can shut it. I'm going to make it a bit smaller. It's not really necessary to do this because you don't need a lot of pressure in the tank, but it helps if you can hear the hissing. I haven't tried it before, so I don't know if it's going to work. So yes, what I'm going to do, I've put, this is sealed up, hopefully. There's a dead pipe in here with a bolt stuck in it. To block this pipe. We're going to squirt some air in here, and spray around and see if we can find any leaks. Of course, we didn't do this earlier, so we don't really know where the leaks are. Air pipe. So all I'm going to do is squirt some air in here. Can we see what's what?
You need to bring the whole thing this way a bit with the camera that way.
How's that?
Perfect.
How's that for a set-up shot for this hole that isn't here? Yeah.
Yeah.
So just going to put a little bit of pressure in, and you can see with the leftover bubbles already. It's why isn't it bubbling?
Coming out the front.
Which one? Oh, there we go. It's not. It's a massive. It's a much bigger hole than it was before already now. But yeah, can you see that? Does that work on the?
It's all the air's coming out somewhere else too much now.
Well, when we had this before, it was air. You can see it, right? So there's that one there, and then we've also got one at the front here. Is that visible?
Might be. Put your fingers over the two. If I'm honest, I think your plastic seal may have done the opposite of sealing it.
Oh yeah? Can you see it? You can see it from here. Is it visible on the camera?
Yep.
Ah! Okay. Thank you. Stop. I took the tank to a local welder to see if he could weld up these pinholes for me, and well, unfortunately couldn't. He wasn't sure, and he wouldn't offer any guarantees, and it was going to take a long time, and he didn't know how much it was going to cost me. So in the end, I got the tank back, and I remembered that I watched a video about LumiWeld, or the equivalent of LumiWeld, and I remembered that I had some rods. So I'm going to try it for myself. It says you can clean it out with the stainless brush or sandpaper, so I'm just going to Dremel out this hole a bit bigger. And the most important thing, as far as I'm aware, is that you don't melt the rod directly. You must get this up to a certain temperature, and then let the heat of the material melt the rod. The other thing is there hasn't been any fuel in this tank for a long time. It doesn't smell of fuel at all. So there's not going to be any pyrotechnics, says he, hopefully. So let's give it a go. And then there's the other piece at the front. Oh, I haven't sanded it. Ha ha. Egypt. It does seem to flow very well. So we'll let it cool down and then pressure test it. See what it does. Sorry it's been a bit of a time again without a video, but I think where we'll have ended up with this video is that I sanded this tank down as much as I could. I found some leaks in it, one of them here, one of them on the side. Initially I took it to a specialist welder who thought he didn't rate the chances of fixing it very much. So I did try Lumi Weld on the little split here, but it didn't work. It looked like it was going to work. It seemed to be covering, but it's still leaking out. When I put some pressure on, it's still leaking out. And the solution to fixing this tank was to buy another one. So I found this tank going on eBay, and basically it was cheaper to buy this. This one has already been, it's been finished, well, you know, had the sanded down, and it's also, the person that cut the tabs off actually cut it too far and had it welded up. And they've also welded where in the standard place where they leak here. It's an older style tank. It has the float here, which is good actually, because it's just, there's no complications with the sealing of that thing. It's just this one place, and the return is removable for some reason. But yeah, this tank is in very nice shape. The other thing is the fixing at the back is different, so I do have to weld a bracket on the tank for that, but it fits on very nicely, so I'm very pleased with that. You will have also seen, I think, in this video, me playing around with trying to seal up the old style tank, this piece under here, and that also doesn't work. I put some Hylamar on there, it just doesn't work. It's been leaking out of there, so that was good enough to get me started, but I'm not going to bother with this tank. I'm going to continue with that one. What else have I done? I've been mostly working on the wiring, and it's getting very cramped in here, as you can see. This is the fuel pump relay with its fuse. So it's just about all in. The main things that are not connected now is the lighting, and I've done some of the switch gear, the indicators. I think we can see the. Oh, I'm going to turn it on. Turn it on. The indicators here should be working. Says he confidently, yeah, and they're not. Why not? There we go. So there's one indicator. See in the top left. And there's the other indicator, and I think I can get, says he confidently, hazards going to, yeah, both indicators at once. That's left and right indicators in the top left corner here, these two guys. So that's hazards on. So a little bit of progress in the wiring. I've wired up the fan, so it's got its own dedicated thermostat. So it doesn't use that big control box, and I didn't test that switching on today, but I have had the bike running today and got it warm to drain the oil. So drain the oil out, and of course, long story short, you don't need to, I mean, there are plenty of other videos of people doing this, but long story short, the oil pump drive shaft is completely had it. Yeah, there's no way that's going to seal, so I've ordered a new one of these and a seal kit, and I've been busy cleaning up the water pump itself, so I'll be rebuilding that and sticking that back on the front here. So currently drained the oil, drained the water, no fluids in it at all while I fix this water pump, and then I'll be cleaning up that front and putting it back together. I have decided, I think I'm going to try and complete it all before I take the frame off. I was going to, at this point, take the frame off and send it away for powder coating. I'm going to keep the colour a secret, but I have decided on a colour. I'm going to send that away at the end, if at all. So knowing me, I might get it all together and then decide, you know what, I don't need it painted. But we'll see. I've mounted the ECU under the seat. You can see there, I'm going to have to make some sort of cover under that to cover up the connector, because otherwise it's going to get blasted with dirt and everything, so that'll be something extra to do. Got to put a bracket in here, as I said, to mount that older style tank. A little bit of wiring to sort out with the earths, headlight to do, tail light to wire up, indicators to wire up. I've got to adjust the angle of the exhaust because I've realised it doesn't match the angle of the seat, and it will do, so it needs to go down at the bracket a little bit. I've been cleaning up the engine a bit, as you can see, just using a brass brush on an angle grinder. Just going to keep it all silver. I think going to keep the engine all silver as much as possible, clean in here as much as possible, but again, that'll really have to wait until I've got the frame off. I've started it up today and run it a bit more, and there's something not right with the fuel delivery. I think it's fuel delivery. It runs for a while and then runs very weak and then cuts out. So I am going to fit a fuel pressure gauge so I can check that. It will be like a permanent fuel pressure gauge. I'm actually thinking of trying to mount it directly on the fuel rail, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I've been playing around with printing other airboxes just to try and get it all to print in one go, as opposed to having the... I'll show you. I think I'm not sure I've shown you this properly before, but this end here is just glued on, and I've been trying to print it all in one go, and that hasn't really worked. So this works fine. I just made a bit of a mess with the Hylamar that I haven't cleaned off. Other major things, so yeah, front headlight to fit. I need to think about speedo. Haven't decided what I'm going to do about that yet. I need to do the rear brake. I need to find the rear brake pedal because I've got one. It matches the other side, the rear set, but I've lost it. but I will find that. So yeah, that's where we are right now. Lots of fiddling about to get that wiring in there, and I think it's all going to just about fit, and it looks okay. So yes, I'm going to end this video here. Hopefully it's been interesting for you, and I'll see you on the next one. So thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.